Pakistan has launched missile strikes into Iran, killing 9 people, after Iran carried out strikes in Pakistan late on Tuesday. Pakistan said its strikes had hit terrorist hideouts in Iran's southeastern Sistan-Baluchestan province. Iran condemned the attack, which it said killed 3 women, 2 men and 4 children. The reciprocal airstrikes come as tensions in the Middle East are high with several overlapping crises. Israel is fighting the Palestinian group Hamas in Gaza and exchanging fire with Iran-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran-backed groups in Iraq and Syria are targeting U.S. forces, and the U.S. and UK have struck the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen, who have been attacking shipping. Pakistan's foreign ministry said its strikes around the Iranian city of Saravan had come in light of credible intelligence of impending large-scale terrorist activities, and added that it fully respects Iran's sovereignty and territorial integrity. In its own statement, Pakistan's army said the precision strikes were conducted with drones, rockets and long-range missiles and targeted the Baluchistan Liberation Army and the Baluchistan Liberation Front. Both groups are part of a decades-long struggle for greater autonomy in Baluchistan, a remote region in southwestern Pakistan. Pakistan had fiercely condemned Iran's strike on Tuesday, which struck an area of Pakistan's Baluchistan province near the Iranian border and which Islamabad said killed 2 children. Iran insisted its strikes were aimed only at Jaish al-Adl, an ethnic Baloch Sunni Muslim group that has carried out attacks inside Iran, and not Pakistan citizens. Iranian state media reported on Thursday that Tehran had summoned Pakistan's chargé d'affaires over the strikes. Pakistan had earlier recalled its ambassador and blocked the Pakistani envoy from returning. China, Turkey and the Taliban government in Afghanistan have all called for restraint and dialogue. Earlier in the week Iran also attacked targets in Iraq and Syria. It said it had hit Islamic State and Israel's Mossad spy agency, both of which it said had been involved in a bomb attack in the Iranian city of Kerman earlier this month which killed 84 people. Iran and Pakistan have complicated but cordial relations. Their ministers met at Davos this week and their navies conducted joint exercises in the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf. The two countries have similar concerns about the lawless border area, where drug smugglers and militant Baloch groups are very active. After both sets of airstrikes, each side seemed anxious to emphasize that these did not represent attacks on a brotherly neighbor. Tehran's reaction to the Pakistani strike appears relatively muted and the authorities have said that the victims, who included women and children, were not Iranian nationals. Michael Kugelman, South Asia director at the Wilson Center, said that while Pakistan's retaliation raises the risk of escalation, it also provides an opportunity to step back from the brink. In effect, the two sides are even now. Islamabad had a strong incentive to try to restore deterrence, especially with Iran on the offensive around the wider region deploying direct strikes and proxies to hit out at threats and rivals. In effect, if Pakistan had held back, it would have faced the risk of additional strikes, he said. Others suggested that the government in Islamabad was under domestic pressure to respond. The country, which saw its former leader Imran Khan removed nearly 2 years ago, is holding an election next month. There was a lot of public pressure on the government to do something and so they have done this just to prove that they are not less than Iran. This act of saber-rattling, said retired LT General Asif Yassin, a former Pakistani defense secretary. But he said he had a gut feeling that this will stop here for both the countries, and Pakistan could now be in a position to restart dialogue with Iran. Some commentators have suggested Iran's strikes on Iraq, Syria and Pakistan this week were also driven by the current turbulent dynamics in the Middle East. Tehran has said it does not want to get involved in the wider Israel-Gaza conflict, but groups that it backs have been targeting Israel and its allies to show solidarity with the Palestinians. However, Shashank Joshi, defense editor at The Economist, said he does not believe the strikes are an outcome of the October 7 Hamas attacks on Israel, which killed about 1,300 people and triggered Israeli retaliation against Hamas in Gaza, which officials from the Hamas-run health ministry there say has killed about 24,000 people. The story here is about Iran flexing its muscles, perhaps outraged by what it saw as a grievous assault on its country, he told BBC Radio 4's Today program, referring to the deadly bomb attack in Kerman earlier this month, which he described as the worst terrorist attack in Iran since the revolution of 1979. Iran is wounded and is lashing out. I don't think there's any compelling reason to say the bombing was caused by, or is an outcome of October 7, he said. He adds that this is not the first time there have been border tensions, but it is by far and away the most serious escalation in tensions that I can remember.